this is As. You might already know her because I'm not the only one who's making video on her. Well, I'll try to explain how she draw in easy way with a simple explanation. Let's study her art style and see what we can learn from her. So, let's get started. So, first of all, let's observe her art and make some notes. What are the some things you notice? No, it's not that. See how her drawings have dynamic poses and great shape language with great lighting, as we can easily tell the direction of lighting in this art. Also see how the transition of light to dark is unblended and not soft. It's really hard. And see the crispy curves and shape language. Also, like here you can see how dynamic her pose is, and the hair you can see there is a lot of shape language, especially triangle, and it's very angled and crispy. So if you have noticed, it's very common characteristic in many pro artists art. Now I will tell you more about her art while drawing one of her illustrations. This is the one I'll draw. First of all, line art. I already traced her art for this, but I will add thickness in lines. So how she add thickness? Her line art is really important part of her art style, I can say. So how you can do line art like her? So let me explain you. As you can see, the main border of the drawing is the thickest, whereas the inside, which give detail in the hairs like layers and hair strands, are thinnest. And then we got the second border, which separate part of drawing within each other are thick but less thick than the main border. Then some thick lines here and there are used together. Mostly curved areas are thick and straight areas are thin. Now we have to change the color of line art. I did orangey brown color. Now on the base coloring for skin, she used a very pale desaturated color for skin, and for hair she used a light saturated shade of color, usually the side of color, this one. And yeah, just like that, now I fill in the base color. So you can see she used light saturated colors. Now for shading in hairs, I will use a little grayish shade of orange, somewhere like this. Right now I'm airbrushing the color, and it's where the light is coming, so this is where we will get the shadows. That's why I will darken that areas, and using this round brush I will dark the areas where the light is not coming. Now after shading the hair, I will choose this grayish blue color and duplicate that hair shading layer and change its opacity and blending mode to screen. And you have to make sure the hair shading layer opacity is more than its upper screen layer. If you don't understand what I mean by this layer and that layer, I hope you can understand by seeing this. So like just pay attention in what I'm doing. Now I will darken some shadows areas again, as because the light is direct in this area, the shadow are gonna be darker than the area where the light is not very direct and traveling a long distance. We gotta keep in mind the further the area is from the light, the bluish that area will appear. You can see how I'm doing this and which areas I'm keeping darker and where I'm putting more blue color, and you just gotta do that too. And yeah, and then I will put some of these hair strands which give it more sharpy look. And yeah, that's it. Now I will add the highlights, and I will use this border type of brush. And yeah, let's draw the highlights, and it's really my favorite part in the whole drawing. I just love how she draw the highlights with different colors. And yeah, just like that I am done with highlights. I will just blur some parts. Now I'm done with the highlights and the hair. I will go in shading the skin, and I will use a little darker orangey red color and use round brush. Also the blending mode will be in multiply. And how you gonna shade the skin? See, this is the direction of the light, so this is where we will get shadows, and shadows in the skin is really simple. Just put the main shadows. You're gonna get some shadows here and there, but she avoided those and keep the shadows less detailed and keep it flat. So I'm done with the shadows, and after shadows we're gonna do the same what we did with hair, duplicating the shaded layer, changing its blending mode and coloring it using a grayish blue shade for of color. And yep, just color it and change the opacity according to your drawing and the lighting. Now I will add red borders between the line of transition from light to dark using overlay blending mode, as she always do this in her art, like you can see here. So yep, just gonna do that. And I will use a airbrush. I'm using a airbrush for this, and I'm done. Yeah, so I'm done with the skin shading too. Now I will shade the clothes using just the same trick everywhere. She uses the same coloring trick everywhere, so we're gonna do that. Now add some filter like glitch and blur. We gotta blur the part which are little far, and yeah, done. Now let me tell you some point you gotta keep in mind. Use the same color as base color to shade just a little darker, and always use bright saturated colors for the base. And yeah, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you with the more videos. Till then, take care. Bye bye.